Baseball's dead.
Rest in peace.
No Dallas again. Do you remember, Jay? Hey, he did this another year where he like went on vacation during the World Series. You remember this?
You know, I don't remember. What I don't remember is him blaming Meg the last time.
Yeah, I thought that this was gonna be like, hey, like we're going to Taylor Swift in Louisiana, whatever.
Yes,
but
that's also what I thought.
Night two, no Dallas. Anyways, World Series Game 2.
Big trip for 24-year-old Dallas Braden.
Yeah, he's had a tough year. Like I'm letting this one slide. I'm trying to dig back into my brain, my memory. I'm pretty sure he did this in like 29th. There was 1 year that he like went on vacation during the World Series, and I was like, "What are we doing here?" But he needs this. He needs this, and we have the manpower to push through.
Remember when we were in Philly? We did the podcast when he was in Hawaii. He got super fucking pissed.
Like, yeah.
I'm not doing the podcast, and then just like right back in randomly.
Yeah. This is a stressful time of the year for him, you know, as an A's broadcaster. He's got nothing to do. Very stressful time for Dallas, but he deserves to experience Louisiana and Taylor Swift. So I'm glad he's having fun. The Dodgers are having fun. I'm having fun. Like to a point, I was having fun. Like I think, are you guys in the same boat as me where these games are entertaining? Obviously, first walk-off grand slam in World Series history. Then we kind of get like a late inning comeback with the Yankees tonight, but ultimately the Dodgers win. But the Shohei Ohtani looming injury is a dark cloud over this series right now, right? Like I don't know, like we don't have an update yet. We heard on the broadcast Joe Davis saying that like the Japanese translator said that he dislocated his shoulder, that it popped out or whatever. We don't know. We don't. Like, are you guys in the same boat as me, where like the Shohei injury kind of sucked some of tonight's fun, or all of it? Is all of it?
I think it thickens the plot, my man. Because
okay.
I don't know shit. Everyone knows I don't know shit, but I feel like he's definitely gonna play. For some reason, I don't know. I got a sixth sense. He got hurt. Everyone's freaking out on Twitter. I didn't even bat an eye. I went to the bathroom. I'm like, he's fine. A guy like that doesn't never get.
I'm somewhere in between. I'm somewhere in between. I think I probably lean more towards your side of it, where like gun in my head, does he play again in this series? I think yes. But I mean, when he went down, like it looked bad. Like I thought that he like snapped his wrist. I didn't think that he dislocated his shoulder, but I think it's almost better that if it's the shoulder. Pop that shit back in, take some Toradol, numb it up, some cortisone, get back out there and start swinging.
You got 2 players on Percocet. That's better than 1, I'd say.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. The thing is, his arm looked kind of bad. It was kind of frozen, but like looking at it on replay, like it doesn't look like it's bad. I'm coping, obviously. You know, I can't objectively speak about this shit. Shohei will be back.
Jay, hey, where you at on this?
I mean, it was absolutely a dark cloud immediately over the game. I feel like if it's like a dislocated or popped out shoulder, I feel like that could go so many different ways. Like I feel like in the history of sports, you've heard of people popping out their shoulders or dislocating their shoulders, and to Joey, I think was being a little bit funny, but like are kind of back very, very quickly. If not same game or next day or something like that. And then you have histories of that obviously being a multi-month injury that sometimes requires actual surgery to repair, you know, like torn shoulder ligaments or whatever.
Yeah. Like we saw Belly didn't even leave the game, popped his own shoulder out of on the celly in the
like
CS? Yeah, against the Braves.
That was in the World Series. Oh no, it was the NLCS.
It was against the Braves. Yeah, he hit a bomb off us. But if you're a Yankees fan, I mean, this also could be like the whole momentum shift of the series. Like maybe if you're a Yankees fan right now, Jared, I know you have opinions on Yankees fans and their reactions to injuries, but Yankees fans could be looking at this saying, "Fuck yes, Shohei's done. Now we got I wouldn't say they had the momentum down at 2-0, but not having to worry about Shohei if Shohei has to miss a few games? If
I mean, at this point,
obviously you're a Yankees fan right now. Are you excited to see Shohei?
They were
get
pumped.
hurt?
They were pumped. We literally saw it before we hit record. The video of all the Yankee fans at Billy's. They were cheering and like giving the middle finger to the TV screen as Shohei is on the ground writhing in pain. And it's like, there's been videos in the past of like Yankee fans just like demonstrating like really shitty human behavior, not just like fan behavior, but like human behavior. And anytime like those videos go viral, like Yankee fans will be, we don't claim them. Like we don't claim them. Or like when Carlos Rodon's wife in the playoffs this year, like she's getting like death threats from Yankee fans being like, your husband should kill himself and like you should fucking burn your house down. We're going to kill you and blah, blah, blah. And then like Yankee fans like, those aren't real Yankee fans. We don't claim them. But it's like, all right, like, so they're anonymous people on the internet. But what about now? What about when you have like, 3,000 Yankee fans all in pinstripe jerseys cheering that Shohei's hurt? And it's like, well, we don't claim them. It's like, well, you are them. You are. Like, those are them. You are they. It's all encompassing. Those are Yankee fans. But anyways, I think it's going to be a hostile environment once the Dodgers get to Yankee Stadium for Game 3, home Game 1. I think when they do the lineups for the Dodgers and the Yankees, what kind of reception is Aaron Judge going to come home to? I mean, Jesus Christ. Some of the statistics that I've seen on the timeline tonight, like, I know it was bad, but to put it in like historical perspective in the context of regular season norms versus what he's done this postseason versus his entire postseason career, like, he's historically bad. I mean, I guess it makes sense that he's historically bad because all he ever does is strike out in the playoffs. He doesn't get any hits and he strikes out every at bat. It's fucking crazy.
It is remarkable. I keep expecting him to turn it around.
A-Rod had him hitting 2 home runs tonight. He was like, tonight's the night he turns it around. I have the Yankees winning or whatever it was, 8-3. Aaron Judge, 2 bombs. He went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts.
I love watching the pregame where it's like, okay, Jeter and A-Rod, what's your pick? Who do you think is going to win this?
Yeah. Poppy always picks the Yankees to lose. Jeter and A-Rod always pick the Yankees to win. And those are their only 3 panelists. It's like, all right, split vote.
And then every single time you ask any former player about like a player struggling in the playoffs, like an Aaron Judge, they'll be like, oh, he's about to get so hot. He's about to wake up. Oh, no.
This is just coming out now, Dave Roberts. Dave Roberts talking to the media right now. He says, Shohei Ohtani suffered a subluxation of his left shoulder, which is just a fancy way to say that it popped out. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts said he'll undergo further testing tomorrow, which is Sunday, the day off. But his strength and range of motion are good. Quote, we are encouraged, Roberts said. Okay. So we'll see him again. They're going to have him cortisone the fuck. He's going to have cortisone coming out of his asshole. He's playing again this series.
To the point about momentum too, about whether this could be, I mean, I think now this dings it even further that this could be a momentum turner. But like, I also think it's very hard for this sequence to be a momentum turner for the Yankees necessarily, because they had a real great opportunity in the 9th inning. Like that, there was bases loaded, 1 out, and they got no runs out of that. And to me, like, that just kind of kills any conversation about momentum going into the next game when you had that sort of scenario and really couldn't do anything with it after Blake Trinan looked like he was on the ropes a little bit.
Blake Trinan did not instill much confidence in me tonight. I know that he threw almost 30 pitches last night, threw about more than 30 pitches tonight, right?
Yeah, I haven't thought I mean, obviously the results haven't been great either. I thought he threw 33 tonight. I don't
33,
think
only 19 for strikes.
Yeah, I don't think he's looked particularly good in either of the last 2 nights. I know there was, when we were live streaming last night, there was in the moment kind of reaction. I think particularly from Steve, at least, that I recall about, he got away with some last night that were not punished. And
the
tonight,
fucking pitch he threw to Anthony Volpe. That Juan Soto was like, oh my God, how do you not put that on the fucking moon? Well, not everyone has the talent that Juan Soto does to, like, you see a mistake pitch and like that pitch is going 450. Like, Anthony Volpe got one of those pitches with the bases loaded and just fouled it back.
Yeah, he didn't. Volpe did not look good in that at bat.
No.
Did not look good swinging out.
No. But not to reduce it to this, but I do think the idea that we talked about before the series that, a very, very centralized portion of the Yankees offense was carrying the load. Whereas for the Dodgers, I think most of us felt better about the depth of the overall lineup. And I'm not sure that's ever been more on display than it was in this particular game where, Soto was obviously the driving force, but the other RBI came from Stanton in what amounted to a down game from him. More or less nobody else on the roster offensively gave anything. I mean, the entire rest of the team was 1 for 23.
It's only a down game for Stanton because he didn't hit a home run for the first time
right.
like a week.
Yeah. Like an RBI in an important spot is not necessarily a down game by any standard other than what he'd been doing previously.
Right.
But the Dodgers, your boy, I think you had Teoscar, right?
I did.
So Teoscar had a big game. Obviously, Edman continues to be like the premier role player in the postseason so far. I just think you saw that depth that the Dodgers had going on, and obviously Volpe Trevino to end the game is kind of a tough one, tough sequence. I'm not really sure. I'm not gonna nail a guy for pinch hitting Trevino for Austin Wells when Austin Wells has been like basically as bad as you can possibly be offensively for an extended period of time now. But if I'm thinking about which of those guys is likely more capable of delivering, like, let's say a double or something like that in that spot, I don't know, man. I still feel like the answer is Austin Wells. And I just don't know what pinch hitting Jose Trevino does for you there. It's not like pile on Boone season. This is just a game that they lost. They had their opportunities. It's not a managerial thing, but the offense is letting them down.
I would say, yeah, I mean, same thing as last night. Like the same thing with Nestor or Tim Hill and Trevino or Austin Wells.
Tim Hill looked great against Freddie Freeman tonight.
Yeah, he did. But it's both times. It's like, yeah, maybe you made the wrong decision, but like, you mean either way, you're nervous as a Yankees fan. Like totally. They have to choose between two options that aren't A+ options by any means, and that just tells you they don't have the depth.
Yeah,
as our Dodgers.
Yeah, and just to be clear, like the choice to pinch hit is like the 9th bullet point on the list. The real idea here is that they got to a point in a very high leverage, the highest leverage situation, and the two people who were batting didn't come through, and we've seen that all too many times from the Yankees offense this postseason outside of Stanton and Soto.
October is when baseball legends are made. Like Juan Soto, for example.
Is a legend.
Who at one point, very late in this game, accounted for the only offense that the Yankees had mustered all night. Begin your road to greatness on Underdog, where you can make picks on all your favorite player stats. All you have to do is choose higher or lower on things like strikeouts, total bases, and home runs. You can win up to 1,000 times your money playing their pick'em game. Sign up for Underdog using promo code Jared, that's Jared, and you'll get a free pick as part of your first cash entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. Again, that's promo code Jared. Cash in on every home run during the playoffs with Underdog. Okay, so there's a bunch of different mini storylines that we can hit from game 2. I think we should start at the beginning here with Yoshinobu Yamamoto. There's a couple of subplots within the plot of Yamamoto going against the Yankees. First and foremost, the Yankees had a line in the sand when negotiating with Yamamoto. And if you're a Yankee fan in denial, you'll probably sit there and say, well, he always wanted to go to LA. The whole recruitment process and going around and visiting with these teams and negotiating with other teams, it was all just a plot to get the Dodgers to pay him the most money of any pitcher and yada, yada, yada. the Yankees. So these were the reports at the time. Was that the Yankees drew the line in the sand at $300 million, and the Dodgers went to, what was it, 326, and the Yankees had the opportunity to match it. And John Heyman had reported that the Yankees did not feel comfortable or thought that they should give more money to Yamamoto than they were giving to Garrett Cole. They wanted Garrett Cole to be, they didn't want to have another pitcher on their staff that was not because of like a value thing. It was like a respect thing to Garrett Cole. Like, we're going to make Yamamoto the highest paid pitcher. Now you're not the highest paid pitcher anymore. He ends up signing with the Dodgers. Some people think that he was going there all along. Highest paid pitcher in baseball history at the time of the signing. And here comes Yamamoto in game 2 of this World Series, who had it's an obstacle this year, faced adversity with an injury, and had to essentially make his rehab starts in the postseason. I mean, like let's face it, this man missed a lot of time and had to pitch at the end of the year and then into the postseason and get right. Like, the end of his rehab assignment, more or less, was playoff games. And he did not look good against the San Diego Padres, his first playoff game. But since then has been fantastic. And to have your World Series debut be at home against the New York Yankees, he only gave up one hit. It was the home run to Juan Soto. There wasn't a ton of swing and miss tonight, Jay. Do you have any numbers on that?
Let's pull it up here. I mean, I was going to say, like, to the narrative part just for a second, like, I'm granted the series isn't over. I'm just pleased that, like, the story overall on Yamamoto feels like it's going to kind of crest into a positive story as opposed to a negative. He only had 12 swings and misses. I guess, you know, only
more than I thought or would have guessed. Yeah.
It's a 29% whiff rate. So, you know, not crazy, but you know, it's obviously the best postseason start in terms of end game that he's ever delivered. And a pretty rare start historically when you're talking about giving up only one hit and one run over 6 1/3. But yeah, I mean, whether the Yankees thing is real or not, you know, I was looking at his best work since the beginning of June. Both of those starts have come against the Yankees, June 7th. And tonight. So he may be exacting some revenge.
Yeah. I mean, think about it that way. The game 1 and 2 starters for the Dodgers, who are up 2-0 in the World Series, are both pitchers that the Yankees wanted and then did not end up getting. Some could say that, you know, depending on who's telling the story, they probably could have had both. I mean, they could have had Flaherty. They looked at the medicals and said, we're good. And then he was your game 1 starter and won that game. And then they, maybe if they had matched the Dodgers offer or surpassed it just a little bit, maybe Yamamoto's a Yankee. Don't know. Doesn't matter because the Dodgers are up 2-0 in the World Series, and Jack Flaherty and Yoshinobu Yamamoto were the winning pitchers in those 2 games. Actually, no, Flaherty didn't get the win, but he pitched well enough to win in game 1. Carlos Rodon, who I said was going to last 2 2/3 innings, he shut me the fuck up, dude. He shoved it right up my ass, made me look like a complete asshole, and he did get an out in the 4th inning. He went 3 1/3, made me look like a dude that doesn't know ball at all. 6 hits, 4 earned runs, didn't walk anyone. Did, however, give up the 3 home runs, which, you know, that hurts. That hurts the old
3 long balls does hurt. Yeah,
it does hurt. It hurts. I mean, in defense of Carlos Rodon, 2 solo shots.
Okay. Good defense.
Yeah, I mean,
good effort.
Shit, you know, if you're gonna give them up, Jay Hay, you know what they say.
Those are the ones you want. But only 2 of 3. Ideally, if you're going to give up 3 homers, you'd have all 3 of them be solo shots.
Right. But, I mean, when you give up back-to-back home runs, one of them has to be a solo home
definition.
run.
So not even that. So really, that actually makes the accomplishment less impressive.
Yeah, well, you don't have the chance to give up a 2-run home run both times when you give up back-to-back home runs.
Correct.
So he was efficient with his home runs being allowed. He was efficient,
but not as efficient as he could have been. So
yeah, sure.
Yeah, the
but he
praise
did
kind of falls short for me a little.
He gave the Yankees more length than I predicted that he would. So, hand up, I was wrong. I don't know ball.
It's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Your impressions, Joseph, of Carlos Rodon tonight?
Yeah, didn't look great, giving up 4 runs in 3 1/3 innings. That's gonna usually get you in trouble in the playoffs, especially if you're facing the Dodgers. I mean, you know, it sucks that he has to face the Dodgers. The Dodgers are pretty good, so it could have been worse. But that was my tail of the tape coming in the series. If the Yankees want to win, they got to get length out of their starters. Tonight they didn't get length out of their starter. When the Dodgers, a team that really could probably get away with not getting length out of their starters, that's what they did. Yamamoto, they haven't let this guy throw more than 80 pitches since June, and they did get length out of their starter. So that was the fucking difference tonight. And then it kind of felt like a blowout all game. That 3-run lead felt like a blowout.
It did, yeah. Like by probably the bottom of the 5th is when I kind of slipped into like, let's just get this thing over with mode. I think the only point where I was like, oh shit, was the 9th inning. Like that was it.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, but the 9th inning was definitely close. You were definitely nervous as a Dodgers fan, but the Yankees did not.
Not even though, like
were you not nervous?
No. Soto lines the fucking piss missile to right for a single because it was hit so goddamn hard. Gets the second base on the pass ball. Stanton hits the ball off the bag. Soto scores. Now it's 4-2. And I'm like, all right, everyone else after this sucks. Like the 2 guys that you're afraid of, they hit the absolute shit out of the ball. None of them went over the fence. We're good. This is a win. And that was it. Like there was some traffic. Like what, did Jazz get a base hit, right?
Jazz got a hit. Rizzo got hit.
And
then you had Volpe. And I mean, I wouldn't say Volpe sucks.
He doesn't suck, but like no one was like a legitimate threat. Like there was no one, like who the fuck was scaring you after that? Volpe, Wells, who got pinch hit, Trevino, fucking Verdugo. Like after that, you're just like, all right, we're out of this. Didn't matter that it was like bases loaded, 1 out. I'm like, we're good here. Like we just wrap this shit up. And that's how it went.
I mean, it did feel like that was probably how it was going to go.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, I know Volpe's like, I know people are going to respond to this and say, you know, Volpe, his on base percentage is .391 during the postseason, and that is excellent. It was also .450 in the blink of an eye ago, and he's slugging .270. So there's some emptiness to that on base percentage that is losing me a little bit. But yeah, I mean, the rest of their offense is not coming up. Period.
And I know I sound like someone who already has the Dodgers winning the World Series. I did pick them, yes, but I picked them in 6. I am giving this series the opportunity to, you know, be close. Like 2-2, 3-2, like yeah, I'm certainly open to the concept that going back to the Bronx is the thing that changes the dynamic in this World Series. Like Yankee fans, I mean, first of all, we know that they're a bunch of fucking assholes, but like they're crazy fans. They're loud, they're aggressive, and the weather change for the Dodgers gonna play a factor. They're gonna be busting out the turtlenecks. It would actually be very funny if the Dodgers wore turtlenecks just to fucking combat the Yankees turtlenecks. But the environment's going to be different. There's going to be a different energy in the ballpark, and the Yankees could benefit from that reset. And I get it. Like, I will openly mock A-Rod for saying, like, tonight's the night that Aaron Judge breaks out, and he said he was going to hit 2 bombs, and the Yankees were going to win big, and that just the complete opposite happened. But I do subscribe to the idea that there will be a game in this World Series that is the Aaron Judge game. Like, Juan Soto can't do it every night. Giancarlo Stanton can't do it every night. There's going to be a game where Soto and Stanton go MIA and Judge goes fucking 3 for 4 with 2 doubles and a home run. Like, I just feel like that has to come at some point. It has to.
The question, though, is whether that's enough within that individual game to actually deliver the W, because we could say, like, oh, Juan Soto is going to deliver that sort of game. Juan Soto delivered that sort of game tonight. No one else delivered it alongside him. They lost the game. Like, Aaron Judge hitting a home run, getting a double, that's no guarantee of anything, even if your prediction or your sense is correct. Like, but that speaks to the problem that we've been hammering home, which is that they're not getting any length out of the lineup. So
they need
yes,
their
the
Tommy
star
Edman.
can deliver, but they need other people to do it.
The Yankees need their Tommy Edman. They need that guy where it's like, well, we got Shohei, we got Mookie, we got Freddie, and Muncie's hitting the shit out of the ball. But then it's like, oh shit, Tommy Edman, huh? All right. You know, like the Yankees like don't have that guy that's going to step up. Like I think in the ALCS, maybe Rizzo was that guy. Like very quietly hit like whatever it was, like fucking 4 something.
Well, he got hit by 2 pitches tonight. You know what I mean? Like
he stepped up big time.
He's grinding.
Got in the way.
You know?
Yeah, he's getting on base.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I mean,
it's also not just the Yankees lineup falling short, is that the lineup that they're facing. So it's like, yeah, let's say a scenario where Judge has his Judge game and everyone else goes quiet. That might be enough if you're facing the freaking Royals.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys have
like they have the easiest path to the World Series of all time, and now they're playing a real baseball team, like I've been saying literally all along. And getting accused of just being a biased Yankee hater. It's like, no, this is genuinely how I feel. Like they had a Mickey Mouse path to the World Series, and now they're playing a real baseball team, and this is what they look like against a real baseball team. The entire American League was just like ass. And I think if like Houston getting knocked out when they did just threw off the whole balance of the playoffs, that allowed the Yankees to just cakewalk to the World Series, which is probably the worst thing that could have happened to them. I think the Yankees, if the Yankees had to go through Houston playing as well as at like peak Houston this year, it's like, all right, was it a down year for the Astros? Yes. But at the peak of their powers this season, they were a top 2-3 team in Major League Baseball.
No.
The
Overrated the whole
Astros?
time. Overrated the whole time.
Oh, no, Jay Hay. No.
Yeah.
No. If
No,
the Yankees had to go through the Astros to get to the World Series, they would be battle tested
Still
and in
probably
a
down
much
2-0.
the Yankees
Nestor Cortez would have still hung that pitch.
the Yankees had such an inflated sense of self-worth by the time they got to the World Series because they bulldozed 2 teams that were just butt cheeks. And now they're playing a real baseball team, and this is what has happened to them.
But I think you're misremembering the quality of the NL relative to the AL. This was a Major League Baseball wide thing. If we want to say the Dodgers are the best,
the Padres
team,
would have dildoed the Yankees too.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing this again with you.
Oh, Jay Hay.
No.
How many times do I have to body you in this argument? This whole postseason.
The Padres.
This whole postseason, I've been right. I've been right the whole time.
No, the Padres, who won the same number of games basically as the Guardians.
They got a late start. They were like 500 in fucking June.
Those games count.
They do. So does Game 3, Walker Buehler versus Clark Schmidt. I mean,
that's a game the Yankees can win.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
I mean, we were praising Walker Buehler, and I think for like legitimate reason last time. He threw 4 innings.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like some like hammer. I know he's got great World Series stats. That I think that's a different version of Walker Buehler. We'll see what comes out this time. You know, four whatever years later, 3 years later. I don't know. I'm not necessarily saying I'm taking the Yankees to win, but if Ohtani's out and you've got a Buehler Clark Schmidt matchup, I mean, that's absolutely something that's within the realm of possibility.
I
think
agree.
Joe said he's playing Game 3.
Ohtani, yeah.
You haven't back Game 3.
Yeah, I got Ohtani leading off.
Joe, it's gonna be cold too. Like that factors in with stuff like that.
He's from a cold environment. That's where he was born and raised. A lot of people don't even realize that, but it's true.
Okay.
And you know, the Dodgers, like you said, also have access to turtlenecks.
They do.
And now we haven't really seen Shohei pull out a turtleneck
No,
since high school.
no,
Now,
I haven't seen it.
you didn't remember Shohei wearing a turtleneck in high school?
I
Look it up, Jake.
Jake, book the turtleneck. I want to see it.
Look it up. He wore a turtleneck in high school. And also, what else are they going to say? Oh, I got a great picture of Shohei in a turtleneck. No, I was going to say something else.
Anthony Rizzo said the biggest thing is if we win that game Monday, the pressure goes to the other side and then you make it a series. I disagree. The pressure is still on you.
The pressure is on them, but I will say, I think last night we were kind of, the vibe I had last night was kind of like, okay, game 2 is kind of a must win for the Yankees. They need to win game 2. Now, after they lost game 2, I don't really feel that. Obviously, the Yankees are in a terrible position going down 0-2. They had in the broadcast, I think 80% of the time you go down 0-2, you lose 80% of the time. So they have a 20% chance to win the World Series right now. It's terrible odds. However, facing Walker Buehler, who has, not put up great numbers all year, you got to feel good about that.
Yeah.
And we got to be at home in front of the freaking Maniacs, dude. And maybe Shohei's not 100%, but
People like, and I just did it earlier. People want to hype up like the Bronx Zoo and all that shit. The ALCS against the Astros, they didn't, like, all you have to do is just put up runs and they shut up pretty quick. They're not very loud when you are performing well. Let's see what Aaron Judge had to say after the loss tonight.
We've been through a lot of adversity through 162 and even in this postseason. So guys are going to step up. Guys are going to do what they need to do. And I got to step up as well. I've been, especially with what Glaber and what Warner do at the top of the lineup, man, I got to back them up. So, they're going to keep getting on base. I got to drive them in or move them over.
Aaron, do you have any explanation for why you're expanding? And when you do, how do you remedy that?
Just really locking on your zone. At times you want to, I think it's trying to make things happen instead of letting the game come to you. I think that's what it really comes down to. You see Glaber out there on base, Juan's getting on base, doing things. You want to try to make something happen, but if you're not going to get a pitch in the zone, you got to just take your walks and set up for big G's. So, plain and simple, I got to start stringing strikes.
I mean, that makes sense too. That he's trying to do too much because everyone's like, oh, if Aaron Judge gets hot, then now we go, and. I don't know if I don't have the data to back up whether or not he's swinging at pitches out of the zone, but yeah, like take your own advice, like take your fucking walks then. Like he's not even walking. He's just punching out all the time. It's like his strikeout rate's got to be fucking north of 40%.
Yeah, it's got to be incredibly frustrating to know like exactly what you need to stop doing and to be typically like outstanding at doing that all of the time. And then to have this sort of thing rear, kind of again. But this is the most pronounced bad baseball that Aaron Judge has ever delivered. Obviously, this is the longest that the Yankees have been in the postseason in his career, so that would follow. But it is tough. It's tough. Can I provide a bit of solace for the Yankees fans who might still be listening, though?
Please, yes.
Do you know the last team to go down 0-2 in the World Series and actually come back to win the whole thing?
Nationals.
Yeah, I was gonna say the 19 World Series.
No,
the Astros in 22.
No, I'm trying to provide solace to the Yankees fans.
Was it the Yankees in 09?
No.
Okay.
I'll just tell you, it was the Yankees in 1996.
What?
What about the Nationals in 2019? They lost the first two, right?
I don't believe so.
Well, then they must have opened that series in Houston. Yeah, they did.
So that's what, up 2-0? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, they went up 2-0. They lost all three.
So 1996? Honestly, that gives me way less solace.
The Nationals won the first two games and won the World Series.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got that mixed up in my head, but fuck, dude, that's been a long time, brother.
Yeah.
30 fucking years since he won a World Series going down 2-0.
Now, that's not the last time it's happened in a postseason series or in a best of seven. Like, for example, we watched the D-backs come back and do that against the Phillies in the NLCS just last season. Remember how we felt. I mean, we were talking
Disappointing.
Phillies in the World Series, and then that changed on its head for sure. So it's happened in best of sevens, but in the World Series, the '96 Yanks are the last team to achieve it.
That's crazy. Yeah, because I saw a tweet tonight from someone saying like you guys, some of the younger Yankee fans, you guys wouldn't have survived back in '96, and it shows. And I was like, I didn't understand the reference, but that must have been it. They went down 0-2 and still won the World Series.
Yeah, John Smoltz won't shut the fuck up about it.
Mhm.
They were
Keeps talking about how we lost.
By the way,
they were outscored 16-1 in games 1 and 2. The Yankees were
yikes.
in '96. Still won the
Yikes.
series.
well, they don't have anyone on steroids on this team, which the '96 team had several players on.
I think the Braves had a few of those guys too. But
Anabolic
prove it,
steroids, so that it always helps to have some guys that are cheating on your team. But John Smoltz tonight kept talking about Anthony Volpe replacing Derek Jeter at shortstop. Derek Jeter retired 10 fucking years ago. What are you talking about? He retired 10 years ago. He's not replacing. First of all, he's not even a fraction as good as Derek Jeter. And he retired a decade ago. What are we talking about here?
Dude, okay, so they did the same thing with Didi Gregorius when the Yankees were and I don't know who's going to end up being the better player, but Didi was never ready for that mantle and was never going to be Derek Jeter anyway.
Nobody is.
Right.
Like,
I don't know. I think it's a couple of things. It's John Smoltz anchoring the viewership to his era. Derek Jeter is something of a contemporary to John Smoltz. So that's how he's viewing the game. That's the guy who was across the diamond from the Yankees or when he played them in these high profile matchups. So I do understand that. In some senses, the game has just gotten over Derek Jeter, though, I think is kind of like a face of the game sort of thing. Like that is a fairly recent phenomenon. We go back 5 years ago, 2019. I think that's still kind of how things are being viewed, and that it's kind of a lingering sense that Derek Jeter is still kind of like the most popular baseball affiliated person. And I just don't, maybe the numbers suggest he still is. There's just no way that's still the case with Ohtani's rise and Judge and stuff like that. So I think the game is in a different place. And obviously Smoltz's commentary feels a bit dated at this point. But now you've got the whole backstory about how, Volpe was at the parade in 2009 and what, a lifelong fan and all this sort of stuff. So it's like, I sort of understand it. It's also just kind of lazy at some point because, obviously Derek Jeter is one of the 6, 8, 10 greatest shortstops of all time. And Anthony Volpe is,
Volpe.
maybe one of the 6, 8, 10 best shortstops in the AL. Yeah. Right now.
Yeah. I'll never forget when in 2008, when Jason Bay replaced Ted Williams in left field for the Boston Red Sox. I'll never forget it. That was a changing of the guard, as they say.
I wouldn't mind if the Yankees, listen, I'm not looking for the Yankees to get a homegrown superstar shortstop anytime soon. But if they must have an up and coming superstar that next populates their team, I hope it is a shortstop. I'm ready to put him in the rearview mirror. Old Jeets. Let him just commentate on the Fox desk.
I think in the pregame, Aaron Judge called him out for what did he pick, the Orioles to win the American League East?
Yeah.
They were doing like a whole like captain to captain sentimental talk, and then Judge was like, "Yeah, I saw that shit." And he's like, "Oh, I was just trying to motivate you guys." Like, oh, okay, interesting. But honestly, I respect Jeter for just being honest. Like, this is how I feel. Like Jeter's looking at the Yankees the same way that I'm looking at the Yankees. Like, oh yeah, they're okay. Like, they're a good team in a weak league. If they I had this conversation with a friend of mine, former Barstool employee Charlie Wisco. And I got a group text with him and Barstool JJ, who is Hubs before Hubs, and RDT, the Orioles blogger. We've had this group text going for almost 10 years. And it almost got a little heated tonight because you know, he's coming to terms with the fact that like his team isn't as good as he thinks it is. And I was like, Chuck, they're not that good. Like they were 82 and 80 last year, and they added Juan Soto. Like if you put this team in the National League, like they're what, an 87 win team? Like they're not that much better than they were last year. And now they're playing a real baseball team. The American League sucked this year, and now you're playing a real baseball team, and you're seeing what happens. You guys are getting fucking absolutely dildoed right now.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, I don't think I agree with the characterization that these games have been dildoings.
The Yankees have not looked good in these games.
Well, the first game they were
Giancarlo
winning.
Stanton hit
they
a home
were
run in the
winning
first
game until the final moment.
One
of
home
extra
run.
innings.
Yeah, they hit one home run. That was it.
No, hold on.
Bullpen
They were
looked
winning.
strong
They were winning.
tonight.
They were winning 3-2 at the time that a guy hit a walk-off grand slam in extra innings. Okay, that game was a very viable winning. I haven't seen the win probability chart. I would bet it was pretty high at its highest point for the Yankees in that game. And
They
tonight,
lost.
yeah, they didn't lose, and I think they lost wire to wire in this one. But again, they had bases loaded, 1 out, down 2 runs in the 9th inning.
They had fucking Derek Jeter at the plate. How do you not come through?
The new Derek Jeter. It's a worse version. Yeah, it's like a lot of these things. You know, the newer version is worse than. Yeah,
They don't make them like they used to.
oh gosh.
They don't make them like
America.
they used to. Back in our day. But it's too bad, man. I got all fired up when I saw Jay's video essay about how this was going to be the greatest World Series all the time, and it's just been an absolute dildoing.
No, stop. We saw a walk-off grand slam in the first game of the World Series. What are we talking about right now?
Yeah, I mean, the Yankees have
But
won.
by
a
Jared's
one
game.
of-
mad.
by
Jared
one of-
wanted to see the Yankees win so bad.
I
and they
wanted-
just not do
I
it.
wanted it to be a series, Jay. That's all.
Oh,
just
I mean,
a little
I'm still-
disappointed.
Listen, if in the middle of next week we're talking about a 4-0 sweep, then then we can revisit this conversation that we're
Okay,
having
that's
right
fair.
now, and I will say yes, that was a disappointing outcome because I
Yeah.
did not want a 4-game sweep. I'm also holding out that there is more baseball to be played than 4 games.
Yeah, probably 5, which is what my gut said before the series.
Well, a 2-0 start, you are well on your way to that one.
Mhm.
Yep. I mean, I had some guts to pick the plucky Yankees. You're over here taking the juggernaut Dodgers like Chalk City, baby.
I bet I'm right.
Well,
I was the only one.
Right about.
I was
right
the,
about
I was
what,
the
you know?
only one on this podcast that had the Yankees massacring the fucking guards.
Dude, I think I might get the Juan Soto World Series MVP pick, even if they lose.
That could be the case.
Wouldn't that be cool?
No.
I mean,
would
it's not
ne-
actually. It's not actually going to happen, but
It could though. It's happened multiple times in World Series history.
They would love to give that motherfucker to Freddie, man. Nothing would make him happier to give Freddie limping out there with his whole family. He's gonna have like 5 more kids by the time the series is over. He's gonna do some adopting.
Yeah, man. He deserves it. He's a great dad. He was saying that. They were like, oh man, like what was it like last night after the walk-off grand slam? And he's like, well, you know, business as usual. Had to go home, be dad, get the kids in bed. Imagine that. And the only walk-off grand slam in World Series history, and you're just going home and changing diapers and telling bedtime stories. And
honestly,
Tucking
man, it
kids
sounds
in.
like the fucking dream.
yeah, I mean, that's
That right
that's
there
pretty
sounds
great.
like pretty much the coolest sequence you could possibly dream up.
Yeah. Just being an awesome dad and husband and also hitting walk-off grand slams in the World
Yeah.
Series.
Or
making
just the
tens of millions
sequence.
of dollars,
Like
getting to
literally
live in
hitting it.
California.
Yeah, and going home and being like, all right, let's snuggle up. Let's all just
Yeah.
love each other. You know what I mean? And just kind of soak in my walk-off grand slam.
If
It'd
it
be
if
awesome.
it is that, because I know what bedtime over here looks like, and it's like, all right, give me your fucking phone. No more
Well,
TikTok
sure.
and Roblox. Oh, you're complaining because you want your phone? All right, no, I don't give a shit. Go to bed. Yeah, maybe it's a little bit more
That's less
peaceful.
romantic.
Yeah. At the Freeman household, I bet there's lots of love and.
Well, I'm just
tenderness.
saying, you know, or maybe if you hit a walk-off grand slam in the World Series, like your kids cut you a break.
Yeah,
They're like, you know what, I'm going to behave tonight because my dad's, you know, like kind of an ultra badass.
yeah. Yeah, that's probably a night you want to stay up though. Yeah. All right. Who do we like in game 3? Bueller Schmidt.
I like Schmidt. I like the Yankees in game
Schmitty?
3 at home.
Did you pick the Yankees in this game too?
I did pick the Yankees in game 2.
Okay. All right. Check.
What'd you pick? Because neither of you guys made a pick.
No, I did. I said it was
Sure
going to be like 9-3 Dodgers.
Okay.
Yeah,
then-
I think I said 4-2 Dodgers.
Okay. So yeah, you guys both made picks and were right, and I was wrong.
Mhm.
So today I'm not going to make a pick.
No, you
Dang.
just made one though. You said the Yankees were going to win.
It doesn't count.
Jake, count that. Write that down.
Yeah.
Joe made
Yeah,
a
he
pick.
said I like the
Lock it in.
Yankees.
I like the chances of if the Yankees got. I mean, I'm going to say it. This is a must win for the Yanks.
You think so?
This is must win for the Yanks. And you got Walker Buehler coming off like 3 surgeries. Obviously Walker Buehler is a great pitcher historically, great pitcher in the postseason. But if you can't beat Walker Buehler at home when you got Judgy, Soto, and Big G, then maybe you don't deserve to be in the World Series. And then now I'm kind of getting towards Jared territory. But, Jared's talking a lot of shit about the Yankees. But yeah,
I'm not
if they
talking
lose-
shit. I'm talking facts.
No, you're not talking shit about the Yankees, man. Honestly, you've shown nothing but respect
Thank you.
to an organization that deserves it more than any other organization
So-
in
Right.
sports. But yeah, they got to win this one. I will say this.
That's
They
a
got to
great
win
take.
this one.
I agree with that.
And they
take.
should win this one. I think they'll
They
be
should.
favorited in this one. I think,
Maybe.
however, even though Walker Buehler's starting with the rest day and a full rested bullpen for the Dodgers, it's tough, man. This is a fucking good team.
Dodgers are a really good team.
They're a really good team.
They're a super team. They are.
Imagine
And
if their pitchers weren't all hurt and Shohei could pitch too.
so I'm saying, like, if they had
Yeah.
Glasnow, like if Shohei was pitching, yeah, man, this is a team that's going to be even better next year, and they may even have Juan Soto too.
And Roki.
No, he's going to be a Red Sox. Yeah, he's coming to Boston. This is the one game the Yankees are going to win this series.
Hmm.
This is their like, all right, we're going to have some pride and throw a punch back. Yeah, I get the Yankees taking game 3 just because they know like we can't lose this game. Like we're down 0-2. We can't go down 0-3 because we might as well just fucking forfeit the rest of the series. We're not the 0-4 Boston Red Sox. Nobody is. Nobody ever will be. They have to win game 3. So I don't think like are they a great team? No. Are they good? Barely. So I think that they need to win one game in this World Series, and this is going to be the one game that they win. Game 3.
I don't think the Yankees are bad, but I will say without Aaron Judge, they're not that good, and they have no Aaron Judge so far this
Wow.
World Series.
Yeah.
And that's
Mhm.
why Jared kind of is right.
Yeah, I've been right all along. Yeah, so I have the Yankees winning game 3 by a score of 5-3. Yeah. 5-3 Yankees in game 3.
Love it.
Joe, do you want to amend your pick?
No, I want to go the Yankees. I'm going to go Yankees 8-6.
8-6?
Yep. Ball's going to be flying.
Is that going to be like a late inning lead change type deal, or is this like a Yankees go up big early and the Dodgers chip away but don't chip away enough? Like, what's the plot?
That's where I see it going. I think Walker might struggle,
Mhm.
and I think, yeah, you put the words right in my mouth, man.
Mhm.
Great minds think alike.
That's right.
Dodgers, you're not going to keep this offense down forever. They chip away, but at the end, the Yankees will win at 8-6.
Yeah. All right. That makes sense. Yeah, I could see a scenario where Walker just doesn't have it. Yankees go up big early, and then Dave Roberts just almost looks at game 3 as the opportunity to not use his best relievers. It's like, yeah, we'll give them 2 days back to back, and then we'll just shove it up their ass for the next 2 and win this thing in 5. That's how I see it going, Jay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna agree and I'm gonna disagree with Joe. I'm not gonna go as far as to say that this is a must win. But if they lose this game, it sets up a must-win in Game 4 for sure.
I agree.
I don't think anybody could argue against that. But what I do agree with Joe on, I'm really vibing with this 8-6 pick, this 8-6 score call in game 3. 8-6 Yankees. I also believe the ball is going to be flying. I'm going to sidle up next to Joe and take that exact prediction. Yankees 8-6.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, they're definitely going to bring out the juice balls. They can't have Aaron Judge continue to do this.
The Goldilocks balls coming out.
Brother, the juiced balls don't help with his problem.
Well, he can't even fucking hit the ball.
He's not hitting warning track shots. He's not making contact. So unless the juiced balls are bigger.
Yeah, they could be. I don't know.
That's a good idea, Jay.
Well, I feel
idea.
like that would
Make
be
'em bigger.
noticed, though, right? That I feel like the whole scam would kind of unravel from there.
TV tricks, AI, shit like that.
What about the pitchers throwing them?
Prove it. Tell them. Prove
They're
it.
getting paid extra to keep their mouth shut. Yeah.
Okay. Cleaning up the paper trail. You're going to have to get paid a lot, and probably in perpetuity, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's an expensive scam we've got going on pretty quickly just to elevate one dude.
Well, I mean, this is an important World Series. Some are saying it's the greatest World Series of all time. But if Shohei's hurt and Judge sucks, then what do we really have here? Is Teoscar Hernandez versus fucking Anthony Volpe?
Well,
that's what you guys are paying $5,000 a ticket for.
Well, listen, I know you're doing
I wouldn't
something.
call those the two second best players in the series.
I didn't
Yeah, I
say
think
that.
we skipped a few
They're
layers.
the two biggest
Yeah.
names.
No.
Yep.
Maybe in John
Yep.
Smoltz's world.
The heir
but
to Derek Jeter's throne versus Jared Carrabis's World Series MVP pick. That it depends on your perspective. How do you set it up?
listen, I know you're doing a bit. Jokes aside, even if those two aren't participating,
Mhm.
most World Series don't feature players as good as Juan Soto and Mookie Betts. That's a fucking fact. In fact, last year's World
Mookie's
Series
a bowler, dude.
didn't feature players that good.
Baseball isn't even Mookie Betts' best sport,
Well, that's just because he's so talented.
I guess. Mookie
That's
Betts
like-
is better at bowling than he is baseball. That's just a fact.
That's
Aaron
like
Judge is
dinging.
probably better at basketball.
That's like dinging Bo Jackson.
Mm. Yeah. Anyways.
Because he was better at football or whatever.
Yeah. Jake, who you got in Game 3?
You guys made a lot of great points, but I got the Dodgers 11-0.
11-0 Dodgers.
Oh my.
That'll
That would
be tough to come back from. Yeah. That could be the nail in the coffin, as they say.
not much of a response to the game before a must win. If it's
Mm.
11-0. No.
Yeah. Yeah, that feels like curtains at that point. All right. Well, let's hope Shohei's okay. We want to see Shohei in the lineup for Game 3 of the World Series. I'm assuming by the time you guys listen to this, maybe we'll have some more clarity that we don't have at 12:30 in the morning on Saturday night. But we will be back and continuing our World Series podcast after every single game. Hopefully Dallas for Game 3. I don't know. Maybe he just vacations for the rest of the playoffs. I don't know. At this point, can't answer that question. But I think that the first 2 episodes have been fantastic. Our World Series recap
question.
podcasts have been outstanding.
Yeah.
So credit
Give
to us
something
for
Dallas
following
to listen to on his flight home.
through. Yeah. Yeah.
Catch him up on the baseball he's been missing.
This episode has certainly been lengthier than I think what we planned for. We're almost at like an hour on this one, right, Jake?
It's all organic.
Yep, 55 minutes.
Fuck yeah, dude. All right. We'll be back after Game 3 of the World Series, Monday night, Tuesday morning for you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Tell your baseball fan friends about Baseball is Dead. It's how we grow. It's how we continue doing what we do over here. We appreciate everyone's support. Baseballisdeadmerch.com. Jay Hay, do you have any nugs?
Tommy Edman is the first Dodgers center fielder to homer in Game 2 of a World Series since Duke Snider did so, also against the Yankees back in 1956. Aaron Judge against non-fastballs this season is now postseason is now 1 for 20 with 13 strikeouts. Anthony Rizzo is the third Yankees player ever to be hit twice in a World Series game, joining Yogi Berra in Game 3 of 1953 and Alex Rodriguez in Game 3 of 2009. Yoshinobu Yamamoto joined Rich Hill in Game 4 of 2018 as the only Dodgers pitchers ever to have a start of 6+ innings pitched and only one hit allowed in the World Series. And the nug of the night is Alex Vesia became the first pitcher to record a 1-pitch save in the World Series. It has only happened 3 times overall in the postseason. Jason Isringhausen in the 2004 NLCS Game 1 and Bob Welch in the 81 NLCS Game 5. So Vesia, obviously pitch tracking has not necessarily been kept with 100% accuracy the entire history of baseball's rich legacy. But in terms of on-record stuff, Alex Vesia, first pitcher to record a 1-pitch save in the World Series.
Shout out to Bob Welch, my favorite guy.
Okay.
Final thoughts, Joseph?
Yeah, I got a lot of pictures of Shohei in a turtleneck in high school, and some more from this couple years ago in a photo shoot for GQ. So he's got turtlenecks to wear, so he'll be fine. Everyone already knows he wears long sleeves every game anyway, so
True, yeah.
He'll be prepared for the coldness.
Okay.
And Brent Honeywell as well is a turtleneck dude, so he'll probably be in Game 3.
Maybe Dallas is refusing to participate until Honeywell participates in the World Series.
See, that's a great bit. You
That
want
is
to
a
talk bits? That's a great bit.
Yep. We got 55 degrees first pitch.
Not terrible. Not warm. Not freezing. That's New England fall ball weather. Love that shit.
Yeah, that's what it is out here.
Mm-hmm. Jake's takes?
Just 2 down, 2 to go. We'll see you Monday night.
See you Monday night. All right. See you guys.
We go.